There's a version of you that feels completely real, until you try to live like them. You can picture how they think, how they speak, how they move through a day without hesitation. In your head, they're calm, consistent, maybe even a little fearless. And it's not a fantasy in the obvious sense. It feels like recognition, like you're remembering someone you're supposed to be. But then the day actually begins, and something small interrupts it. You hesitate, you scroll, you put things off, you say less than you meant to. And by the end of it, that version of you feels farther away again. Not gone, just out of reach. Like a room you can see through glass but never quite enter. It's easy to assume this means you're not trying hard enough, that there's something missing in you, discipline maybe, or courage. But that explanation is a little too simple for something that feels this persistent. Because if you pay attention, that imagined version of you only shows up in very specific conditions, usually when nothing is at risk, late at night, during long walks, in quiet moments where no one is watching and nothing can go wrong. In those spaces, you become clear to yourself. You become decisive, certain. But the moment reality adds weight, other people, expectations, the possibility of failing, that clarity starts to dissolve.
And maybe that's the part that's harder to admit, that the version of you in your head isn't just who you want to be, it's who you feel safe being. They exist in a place where you don't have to be judged or rejected or proven wrong. They don't carry the memory of past attempts that didn't go well. They don't hesitate because nothing has ever interrupted them. In a quiet way, that version of you is protected from reality, and maybe that's why you hold on to them so tightly. Because letting them stay in your head means they can stay intact, untouched. There's no risk of finding out they're more fragile than they feel. No risk of realizing that even they would struggle, or doubt, or fall short in the same ways you do now. So instead, they remain perfect. Not in the sense of being flawless, but in the sense of being uninterrupted, unchallenged, safe.
But the cost of that safety is distance. You start to measure your real life against a version of you that has never had to live in it. And it creates this quiet, constant feeling of falling short. Even when you're just being human. Even when you're tired or unsure or still figuring things out. It makes ordinary moments feel like evidence that you're not who you're supposed to be.
What if that gap isn't a sign that you're failing, but a sign that you've been protecting something? Not just your potential, but your sense of self. Because becoming that person in real life would mean exposing them to uncertainty. Letting them be seen before they feel ready. Letting them be imperfect in ways your mind never rehearsed. And maybe the goal isn't to force yourself into that version all at once. Maybe it's to let them become a little less ideal and a little more real. To let them hesitate sometimes. To let them exist in the same messy, unpredictable world you already live in. Because the truth is, the person in your head doesn't disappear when you fail to act like them. They just haven't learned how to exist under pressure yet.
There's a quieter kind of progress that doesn't feel like transformation. It feels like small moments where the gap closes just slightly. When you speak a little more honestly than usual. When you follow through on something small. When you stay present instead of escaping into the version of you that gets everything right. Those moments don't feel impressive, but they're real in a way imagination isn't.
And maybe that's enough for now. Not becoming that person overnight, but letting them slowly step into a world where things don't go perfectly. Where you don't always feel ready. Where you still try anyway.